more dollars to give away. And we saw those guys were all on top of each other, Brad. They were making some crazy moves, but it seemed like the net code model, the physics, everything like that, it allowed them to door each other at 220 miles an hour and get away with it, surprisingly.
I like 220 miles an hour dooring. I don't know. I like that aggressive racing that runs through. And look at the Lucky Ducks Motorsports cars there. And second place, third place, fourth place. That's a 77, the 24, and the 4. They're going to be ready to party. I see Lucky Ducks is hanging out with us here in chat as well, saying, let's go. Tell you what, let's go indeed. This is going to be a fun one here as we go through some drafty cars as well, getting things going. This second heat is going to be so much fun.
Is that the app? It has to be the app.
Yeah, it has to be, yeah.
Yeah, because if you have not downloaded the Drafty Car app and you call yourself a motorsports fan, I mean, just go get yourself an evaluation. I'm sure there's someone that can do that for you at a low cost, because that game is just... I mean, Dale Jr. has publicized him playing that game regularly online. It is amazing. So, yeah, go check that out. Not to be sponsor biased at all, but Lucky Duck Motorsports, I just thought it just reminded me of the Anaheim Mighty Ducks for a second. So, but the team affiliations, obviously quite significant. We saw 609 Motorsports in practice. That was quite big. And, you know, when it comes to the real show here in a few weeks, Brad, team affiliations, it's one of the big things we hear in the real world of, I got to go with this guy, I can't go with that guy. There's going to be a lot of that. It seems like once the regular season hits.
Absolutely. This Elite Entertainment Heat 2 here is going to really kind of show us some teamwork, I think, early on. If you're not familiar with how serious Area iRacing takes the team setup, I mean, they even run, full team drafts. You can negotiate driver swaps. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's free agents involved. I mean, there's a lot that goes into these team games. So those 3 cars that have the duck on the front, keep an eye on those 3, especially as we go through here. Those drafty cars, keep an eye on them. That team game is going to be big here around Daytona, where, draft is your friend. Everything's your friend. And, well, if you have a buddy at the end, all the way up until you exit here, looking at the tri-oval, I mean, up until this point, you're friends. From here on the final lap, nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody cares indeed, as once you come down to that start-finish line, once the money's on the line, once the race wins on the line, all bets are off. Barney's going to get this race underway. The green flag is going to fly. Looks like a good jump from Clampett on the outside. Hopefully not too good of a jump, because you don't want to get yourselves a penalty in that capacity, but I see ducks to the outside. I see one drafty car, and that one drafty car, he's going to have to fend for himself because his teammates are far behind him.
Well, that one drafty car has the pedal to the metal as he
well,
goes
he's
around
not
here.
quite a drafty car right now, is he?
Oh, man. Corey, I've missed you in the booth. I'm not going to lie. I have missed you in the booth a lot. Logan Clampett, Drew Giwa, and the Lucky Ducks are very lucky ducks here as we continue around. Now the drafty car can be a drafty car. Jake Nichols there in the 73 sending it through. Let's see if they keep it double file here coming off of the tri-oval, and we're going to go off. They keep it double file for now, but this heat already gives me a little bit different of an energy than that first heat. They feel more charged, more aggressive here.
Yeah, they definitely are. You see what happens in the first one, and then you kind of, get your expectations set based on what you see. It's always easier to be second than it is to be first when it comes to order, not when it comes to position on track. But we got Drew in that number 4 Lucky Duck car. He is leading the pack, drafty to the outside. We have the independent of Jonathan Evans there, at least independent based on the livery anyways, the paint scheme. He is right back there in that red, white, and blue car with Kevin James on the quarter panel there. Got to remember that clip from him here, given that command was pretty badass one of those years. Mason Kane in that 31, he is in the back in that white car. Another car seeming to be bottoming out. And who is that car that has a face on the hood back there? That's the way to get our attention, is to have a good paint scheme. That's Patrick Moose. Sorry.
What? Yeah, what is that face about?
He has a lot of faces on that car.
I'm sure there's an explanation for it. I know that we have a car to tell a story about a little bit later in the broadcast. That's that number 9. We'll talk about him here in just a little bit. Right now, I don't want to detract from the side-by-side, the dooring that's going on up front here as we continue around those Lucky Duck drivers not being friends. The 77 there, Logan Clampett thought about taking it 3 wide through 1 and 2. Didn't do so. Now we're sticking through. 2 laps to go, a lap and a half to go now. And to tell you what, guys are running.
Yes, they are. I think we're about going 3 wide up front right now. And who is that? That is going to be Nichols in the middle. Well, no, they are not 3 wide anymore. Nichols to the outside. We got the 4 of Jua to the inside. Coming to the white flag here. Looking 3 is the 26, and that didn't work. We're wrecking. We got a blowover here in the tri-oval. Huge carnage, but no cautions. We got to get ourselves back to the start-finish line. And who is it? There we go. We're getting footage here. It's just going to be 2 of them, so they're going to have to set up a run. Clampett is up there with the 73 of Nichols behind. Is he going to figure something out? Is he going to use the back bumper? Got to get him a little loose. He's going to go up the track, but I don't think Clampett's going to lose it here. He's going to come off of 4, coming to the line. No runs to be had, and Logan Clampett will get that win. But hopefully before the session changes, we can go and get that crash.
Goodness me, that was a crash. Let's get this replay here
Look
really
at
quick.
That blowover, my
2
gosh.
cars up and over. I forgot how quickly the COT could do that.
Yeah.
I mean, the car wasn't even halfway around, and it was just up.
The 26, my gosh.
I'm glad the catch fences are immovable, because if that catch fence had any give into it, if this had been real life, that car would have been through that catch fence.
Yeah, that is why, if anybody wonders why, that restrictor plates are still a thing. It is for wrecks like that. Because at the end of the day, I don't care how tall or how strong the fence is, a 3,400-pound stock car at that rate of speed is not more powerful than a couple poles of steel. But that will conclude the heat. So now we will switch ourselves over to the starting lineup, again sponsored by Central Mobile Homes. Looking for a small or large home, a new shed, or a triple crown trailer? Look no further than Central Mobile Homes. They've been proudly serving Florida customers for 28 years with a plethora of small and large home floor plans, shed designs, and triple crown trailers. Available in LaBelle, Okeechobee, Clewiston, and Sebring at centralmobilehomes.inc to get started today. The fact that I was able to say Okeechobee, not being a Florida native, makes me a little bit happy. But we will have a 2-minute warm-up here, and that just will let you... Actually, I don't know if they've updated it where you can actually see where your pit stall is in warm-up. I don't think you can. But if you're having to pit in 25 laps... Actually, I'll take that back. Because remember what Jacob was telling us, if there is a 5-lap variance in tires, it is noticeable with how much these melt off at these rate of speeds.
Yeah, I mean, for 25 laps, you wouldn't think off the top of your head tires are going to be a thing, but we were told very quickly up front, tires are going to make a difference. We'll see. And now, was that just friendly banter? What? Corey, you know how you and me are in the booth about stuff like that. I got to wonder, is that just friends being friends?
Holy mother of things that I can't say because
goodness gracious.
I am trying to keep monetization here.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that was ouch.
Well, this is called guys having fun. If this happens, we've seen leagues where this happens in the regular season on a weekly basis. And, we've had to make decisions with them. But I don't worry about them in this context here. So they're just finishing this up here. And again, 18 seconds, just enough time to shake things out, have a little bit of fun, and let's get back at it for the finale.
Absolutely. Just remember for the finale here, $100 is on the line, Corey. Once we hit this final 25 laps, I mean, $100 is on the line very, very quickly. So, and we saw how quick 5 laps can run. I mean, 25 laps ain't going to take very long. 3 green, white checkers are possible. And yeah, this main event is about to I mean, it gets me excited for the main season to kick off, honestly. But we saw how things went on the 2 heats, couple of huge crashes. We'll see how long it takes.
Yeah, we'll see how long it takes indeed. But as we just mentioned before, our Central Mobile Home starting lineup will get underway here for the finale. And, well, before we get too far, let's make sure our starting lineup graphic actually works appropriately. It doesn't. So, yeah, we won't worry about a starting lineup. Who needs a starting lineup? It's Daytona, right? Everyone's going to crash anyways and go upside down.
Exactly. It's going to be fine. It'll be fun. It'll be a great time here. I'm sure it won't be too bad. Are you sure that starting lineup didn't work?
No, it didn't. Well, let's see who's up front right now, because I don't think it worked.
Here's the other.
Is Connor Horn up front? No, maybe it did work.
67, 77?
No, Jake. No, it didn't work. But let's just vibe at this music real quick, because I actually paid for this music. It's actually a pretty cool little starting lineup beat. So hope you appreciate that. But either way, we already went over our details. It's 25 laps here tonight. Our keys to the race, which I have very quickly amended. Speed, as you have found out, tires will melt. And when you take A and B and then add money, a lot more money, I expect chaos. But again, in the nature of the race, it's fun. I mean, as long as we're not doing anything, Logano and Stenhouse ridiculous, I think a little bit of carnage it's all fine in the spirit of some fun preseason shootout action.
See, here's the thing with it. You can't take this you can't take it too serious, but you have to take it serious enough. And what I mean by that is that you have to remember this is the preseason shootout. You can do nothing here but make enemies. But you need to also remember there's $100 on the line. But you need to also remember that, this is a preseason shootout. You're not running for points. You're running for cold, hard cash. And you just gotta do what you got to do here to a point. But it's still a race. Race car drivers are going to do race car driver things. And at the end of the day, all we can do is have fun, enjoy, and see what happens here. 25 laps, 3 green, white checkers. And I tell you what, I am looking very much forward to this. And also, no fast repairs. So the drivers kind of have to have a little bit of sanity on them, at least until the final lap.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't win it if you ain't in it, as some famous person once said. That I don't know who it is, but someone told me that they were famous and they said it, so I always say it because of that. Barney the flagman has the flag in hand, and we are high above the Daytona flag stand and letting you have that overhead view of the start of the finale round here. 25 laps for $100.
25 laps. We'll see if anyone has any patience for the full 25 laps. You can't win it if you ain't in it. I'm stealing that from you, Corey. Thank you very much. We get through turn 1, through turn 2, and well, looks like everybody's going to settle up for that draft very quickly. We're going to form a bit of a pack, and we're going to keep things going. And of course, it's drafty cars in second place with Lucky Ducks up front, and then a Jimmy Johnson wannabe of Jeff Wright in P3 here. Philip Groner in fourth place, Connor Horn in P5. Let's bring it through turn 3 and just keep double file for the time being.
Yep, the speeds at, again, 205 miles an hour. Now, again, they tried doing Legacy Daytona over the bumps at 207, and they just decided, hey, maybe this isn't as fun as we thought it was going to be. Let's give it a little bit more racy here on the smoother, updated Daytona, and I think that probably was a good decision in hindsight here. But that 48 car to the outside, Jeff Wright getting the push from the number 77 car here, and trying to figure out what's going on as Jake Nichols going top, going bottom. That bright green car is going for the race lead here. That is the number 11 of Philip Groner.
Yeah, Philip Groner here down the inside in that drafty car, sending it through, looking good. We've formed that 2x2 pack, and that should last for a little bit. We'll see if anyone gets brave to take it 3 wide here, but I would say early on, again, keep it together, keep it calm. I mean, you got to just keep things going as much as possible. It's going to be interesting to see when teammates get together, because it looks like we got some drafty card teammates there on the high line starting to form up. So is this team game going to come in for the preseason?
Into the 24. Beckner into Curhan. Curhan is going to kiss the fence here. And you can see that draft train behind, a significant draft train. Makes you wonder. We got some strategery going on here, guys, expecting some wrecks, maybe trying to save a little bit of tire for the back end of the run, and hopefully Curhan can blend himself into that as they still are going door to door up front for the lead. You can see the 11 drifting high. You can see the 77 of Clampett drifting high. And everyone's trying to find their way here as they head down the back straightaway about 1/5 distance in. And here comes the 48 looking high. That's right, 3 wide for the lead.
Take it 3 wide, give him the side draft through. 48's really wanting to go, but he needs a friend. He needs somebody up there with him, and nobody wants to brave it on the high line right now. So 48 is going to be dropping back there, and look at that. Went from almost in the lead all the way down into, well, he's showing right now way back in P8, P9. So he'll keep dropping back too if he can't get back up to the high line and bring it forward. Everybody playing kind with each other right now for the most part as we bring it around through 1 and 2 here. 5 laps down, a fifth of this race already done here, Corey. We keep it going. There's a shot to the rear bumper, and we are going to just keep this one moving, grooving, keep it pretty, and look at that, 218 miles an hour going into turn 3.
And everyone just drifts up the track. You don't want to let off any more than you need to here, so you just drift up all the way to the top of the track, try to maintain that momentum here, which makes it harder to run the bottom, because you run the bottom, you genuinely have to approach it like a regular turn at a intermediate track. You can't run it flat out, especially as these tires age. Adds a little bit of strategy, adds a little bit of skill requirement to the checklist here at Daytona. But you can see that 21 car down to the inside. That's Eric Wineland. He's working his way up through the field. I haven't talked about him much, but now he's in that 4th, 5th position along with the 51 behind him of Ricky Springer.
Yeah, and as they bring it back through turn 3, you know, one of the things that you kind of just clicked my mind into is the fact that we are running a car that a lot of these drivers may not be traditionally used to running. So this may be a little bit of a adapt and overcome moment for some drivers, you know, with the higher speeds, with the tire wear, with having to kind of, you know, hold on to the drift up the track of the speed. The 52's in the wall, the 31 is in the back. Here we go. Is this a spin? Is this a spin? Are we going to hold it together? Oh, they held it together.
Yeah,
that was impressive.
Again, this is the cream of the crop of area. This is a league that has drivers of the highest caliber in iRacing. So if anybody's going to be able to hold it, it's going to be the guys in this server. You can see the 31 car drifting up the track, trying to maintain. That's Mason Kane, again, in the back of the pack. But as we head back to the front, Connor Horn is just maintaining this race. And now they're going to squeeze 3 wide, where I didn't think 3 wide was squeezable. If such a word exists here, heading off into turn 1, and look at the 17 kind of pinching the 21 down. I think Beckner may have been in the fence again, and that'll cost a little bit of time to him.
Yeah, and that little bit of time can add up substantially here as we go through. Jake Nichols to the inside, Connor Horn to the outside. We're going to take it 3 wide yet again. Guys, you still got 18 laps to go. Let's reel it back. Let's breathe a little bit. We got plenty of time to run. Watch the drift. It's starting to get more and more. A little bit of a wiggle out of the 21 of Eric Wineland. Caution is out.
Now, trying to see what it was here, and it looks as though some issues with the 88, so I'm going to take a reckoning that it was Justin. And let's see what we can see.
And we get...
we're getting a little bit more words here. Again, what happened?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
26 is sideways.
Okay, so it looks like it might have started with the 26 then, actually. So we'll see here as we get this replay pulled up. Brought to you by rickshotsauce.com. Head over to rickshotsauce.com for some of the best hot sauces made locally in South Florida.
My overlay software is very laggy today.
I see something in the background. I know something happened, but what? Okay, so the 26 up in the wall. There's a tap and then just dumps it.
Who's the why is the 71 backwards as well? So
is that a separate spin from the 71 ahead?
Yeah, it seems as such, but either way, back to live footage here. And should have a quickie yellow, Brad, because these yellows on these plate tracks do tend to be on the faster end. So shouldn't be too long before we get ourselves back in action.
Yeah, it won't be too long at all. And as we go through, is everybody coming to the pits to take tires?
Yes, sir.
I tell you what, we knew tires were an issue, but the fact that we didn't even run 10 laps and everybody feels the need to go get a set of tires out of the pits, that tells me all I need to know for the night. Now, everyone's in, everyone's taking this. You might as well just call this a mandatory pit stop at this rate. But is everyone taking tires? And the 4, the 4 missed his pit box. That's unfortunate. Not what you want to do here early on.
Yeah, not at all, but it is what it is here as we get back into action, and Horn is going to lose the lead here on the restart to Jake Nichols, and some different strategies at play. Let's take a look here. We do have a fair amount of tire stops. A couple guys did take fuel only, such as John Hall here in the 03. From what we can tell on the back end, 7.8 second stop. So that would indicate he did not take tires. So that is a risky play, but sometimes you got to do it. We were told ahead of time that there's a 5-lap difference on the board is certainly going to be enough to justify those tires, but money's on the line. If you don't have the speed, you don't have the track position, I mean, you got to throw something at it, Brad.
The only thing I can think for him is that he is hoping for a late caution or a green white checker that can give him an opportunity. Only 2 tire sets in the pits. So I mean, if you've already taken 1 tire set here and we're gonna go green with 15 laps to go, you're risking it for the biscuit, and I don't know if I'd be risking it for the biscuit when there's $100 on the line here. Race control has called 51 in the 71. Cars were tight cars doing tight car things, so that tells me about all I need to know for why that caution came out.
Was that the actual verbiage?
That is the direct verbiage out of our back end chat here. Yes. Lap 8, caution 51-71, tight cars doing tight car things. You know how much I like that? The fact that is just all you have to say is that, and I know exactly what the story is with that. So as we hit, that point, I mean, that's wild.
And just a little back end refresh here of our systems, and sometimes our overlay software gets a little buggy here. It's what happens when you download a new version of anything, is usually the new version is not good. You're supposed to wait and download the new version like a month after it comes out. But, that's why this is a test stream to a degree. So that's why that little refresh happened there. But that's all good and fine now. 21 of Wineland to the inside, Nichols to the outside, Horn back there in the 4th spot. You go back 3 rows to the inside where you find Logan Clampett. He led a fair portion of the race. So we'll see if he can work his way back through. Only estimated for about 10 minutes of action if this thing stays green, which it may, but I'm also not really depending on that. But also to bring up what we spoke about earlier, we will be live next with these guys on March 4th. You can mark your calendar. That will be the Tuesday that will start the Area Truck Series at Daytona. And then 2 days after that, March 6th, that will be the Florida Estates Area Pro Series with the Xfinity rides. That will start after that. And then we will be riding on from here. So stay tuned. If you like what you see here, if you like these crazy voices in the booth, well, you got a whole year more of them if that's what you enjoy, and we hope that you certainly do here. But Brad, let's get off turn 4 here, and let's see if we can end this one, or if we have a little more melee to find ahead of us.
Oh, there's more melee to find. We don't even have to think about it. We come off turn 4. The iRacing pace car is going to pull off there to the inside. It's not a beast, but I tell you what, that iRacing Mustang certainly will do for one here on the time being. Jake Nichols and Eric Wineland are going to take control of the field. They hit the Geico restart zone, and it is green. Here we go. 15 laps for this season 7 shootout, and Jake Nichols very quickly gets the run here, heading towards turn 1. There's a little bit of a conundrum in the background. 3 wide early on. Why are we 3 wide early on? But hey, what can we do as we come through 1 and 2? And I tell you what, Corey, they're keeping it together for the moment.
Why are we 3 wide? Because there's $100 on the line and the race is almost over. That answers every question you should possibly have here. Heading on the back straightaway at 200 plus miles an hour. We did not talk about how nice these spec maps, these metallic and chrome cars look under the lights, but have to give full props to that. A couple guys in the chat mentioning as such here, but you can see coming through the field here, we got that 73 having a fair bit of control, which is something that we haven't really said, having control of the race, but seeming like he is playing the traffic cop and balancing both lanes pretty well here. Connor Horn, look at him just got a surge to the outside as if he got some nos on that outside lane, doing it by himself. But look at him making some headway on that outside lane.
Yeah, the outside lane I think is going to be dangerous as we get here near the end
if he doesn't
of
get
this
hit.
race. Oh, man, Connor Horn, you need a friend up high. You need a friend up high, and he has none. Is he about to start dropping off the order? No, there we go. Now the line's going to make a run here. Through the tri-oval we go. What's going to happen here? Well, Eric Weinland, Jake Nichols are going to just kind of get things moving and grooving and around, and no, that high line, now we're going too wide. Still not enough of a move there on the high side, though. They need more friends than just them.
And again, the only car really that is bottoming out here is that number 67 and trying to figure out some places to be there. I think the 77 may have been the 28 of Beckner, washed up a little bit. That kind of cost Connor Horn an opportunity. And now squeezing a 3 wide is the 17th of Adam Cabot here. That's going to throw Horn a little bit further back. 28 now in front of the 67. And now Horn dominating really all of the racing he's done tonight. He is back in the thick of it here, coming to 10 to go, 11 right now.
That 67 had about a piece of paper in the front and behind to get that car in and through. Did such a good job to do so, though, and know where to squeeze that car in as we continue around. Through the backstretch we go. Let's keep this car moving and grooving. Man, they are really pushing each other here, but at the same time, I can feel the restraint, the patience between some of these drivers where they know they still have time. They've got to make it to the end, and so they're really trying to hold on here as we come off of turn 4. We right on board with Logan Clampett here, and I mean, he is really trying to push, trying to move this car through, but he's holding on to third as best as possible, trying to just sort of play the floodgates as we go through and watch all of these cars drift up. That is over a line of drifting there from the low to the midline.
Oh, there's not space. There's not space. There's not space. There wasn't space.
And upside down we
Connor
go.
Horn doing his best impression of Ryan Preece.
Oh my goodness, he's still going. And just think, that was with no grass. Whew, okay, well, let's get this shop area iRacing replay.
All right, yeah, he bounced off of the whole, I think, 26 car that was, and then just pirouette. But let's go back and find the actual cause of it from the blimp cam. And now I kept saying over and over again, there's no space, there's no space, there's no space. Surprisingly, they can't hear me. I mean, well, maybe some of them can, but there's a delay behind it. See the 28 in the fence. Now the 26 was the Joey Logano move right here. There was no space, but he made space, and at the expense of Connor not having.
Oh, we had another car flipping.
But I mean, that was
the.
Drew was there, and then David Weishart, was he the one that we missed?
Yeah, the 29 was flipping too at the same time. Wow. How? So the 67 up hits, comes down, and then the 29 gets double tapped. Wow.
Yeah, David, he got up, he stuck the look at that from that camera. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Do you think he has a motion rig?
He broadcasts a lot. Broadcasters don't have elaborate setups most of the time.
Well, I mean, I'm glad he doesn't. I always
Maybe
say
he does.
this.
I could ask him in chat later.
Yeah, we'll find out later. So, I'll tell you right now, chat enjoyed that one. So,
what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do?
Oh, there's a couple fake outs.
Do you want the freshies? Do you want the freshies? Answer is yes. Yes, I want the freshies.
Well, I think a lot of those drivers think there's one more caution coming or a green-white checker coming, which is why none of them pit.
This is going to be... no, it's a reference from a cartoon that came out before 90% of the audience was born, so not even worth going. And nobody knows Hey Arnold, do they? No?
Yes, people
Football
know
head.
Hey Arnold. Come on now.
Who was it? It was Oscar, and he was learning how to read. And he was, he said, kitty, 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 do you want to pet the kitty? And that's where I was going, freshies, freshies, freshies. Do you want the freshies? The fact that you sort of knew, that's all the justification I need. If one person in chat gets it, I'll do a handstand afterwards. Which at age 36 is not advisable. I'd probably break a limb. But
if you do a handstand, I need photo proof, so that way we can post it on Facebook and Twitter, please and thank you.
Yeah, I mean, only if I can submit my ambulance bill as a company expense. But either way, yeah, chat saying Joey Logano moment. I mean, there was no space, but there was space to be had. I mean, what's that old, what is it, Ayrton Senna, if car gap? Is that what all the young whippersnappers say these days when they meme moves?
Sure, yeah, if car gap. We'll say that Senna said if car gap, and I'm going to let everyone come after you in the background on that one.
That's fine.
Central United Motorsport has a good point, and I think we might need to communicate this to a couple of those drivers. The car goes faster the other way with the tires on the ground.
Yes. And he also said we brought popcorn, so we're going to have to clip it, Brad. You know how we said we're going to start doing shorts? We're going to have to clip that. Yeah. I might actually save a replay after that one, because that one was a pretty sick wreck. Sick, that's what we said in the 2000s. What do they say now? What do kids say now when something's like cool? I don't know what the verbiage is these days.
All right, Corey, you're starting to make me feel old because I don't know the answer to that one, and I'm supposed to be like...
Is it on... like that wreck was on fleek. That doesn't make sense. I know that used to be...
No, that's also like 2020. We're way past on fleek.
All right, maybe Siri will find that out later for me. But we have one to go, and this will lead us to 6 laps. And our split here on the pits is from about the first person to pit will be Casey Lakatos in the 50 car. He's the first person who pit. Therefore, Logan Clampett below him and everyone on back. And you know the hardest part of this, Brad? The worst thing is when you're Justin in a... You're going to have to help me about 5 or 6 times on that. When Justin in the 88, the first person on the old tires, that is the worst position to be in as a driver, because you're just saying, why didn't I pit? That's all you're thinking to yourself.
Here's the thing, though. If you're Justin Anasogok, I mean, you don't have a lot to lose here at this point, and you're playing for $100. So you just kind of have to go through. Brad Slaughter, I see your message, but I'm not... I can't do that. I have to say the full name for liability reasons that I refuse
Devin,
to answer.
Yes, I try to be cool. I know I'm not, but that's what makes me cool, is because I know I'm not. It's like the whole reverse vibes here going on. But anyways, 6 laps to go. Looks like Nichols taking that outside lane. I didn't even realize these things weren't branded, even though it is an Impala. He's driving a pseudo Camry. I never noticed that. So maybe you didn't either, but if you didn't, now you did. But let's see. Take your picks. Put your bets in chat. Who's coming home with the $100 prize? Well, we'll find out in just a matter of a few moments. Pace car is going to pull in the Mustang pace car. Going to pull into pit road. Nichols on the outside with the help from Wright, and the 21 with the help from Springer. Some wheel spin to the inside, and we're wrecking the 14 of O'Crescent going through the grass.
I told you there was another caution coming. Are they going to throw a caution for it, though? The 14 in the grass there?
You shouldn't.
Hey, I tell you what, if you're going to tape on the numbers, you got to be prepared for something to happen there. We get it going here through 2, though. The rest of the pack is just going to send it on along and kind of say sayonara, adios. Connor, it sucks to be you tonight. 3 wide already as we run through 6 laps to go. Corey, these are going to go quick, or we're going to run through all 3 of our green-white checkers. Which one are you putting money on? I'm putting money on a green-white checkered, at least one. Bring it around 3 and 4, and, well, Jake Nichols will lead another lap here in the shootout.
They separate, and then they cometh together, and when they cometh together, I get tense, and that 48 was just swerving through the tri-oval. The tri-oval at 225 is extremely difficult, and what's also extremely difficult is trying to save that car. Clampett saved it. Now the 38 of Moose trying to save it. He saved it too, but we're still under caution for... who are we under caution for? Philip Groner in the number 11 car. He is already retired to the pits, but what did he done do?
Well, Philip Groner was a goner here. What happened? Well, he got in the back of the 20. Oh, well, that's a hard hit into the outside wall.
More spinning than the carnival rides at your local carnival. Screwed that one up, but again, I'm rusty. But this will put us into, so remember we have the super speedway. We have the super speedway caution sequencing rule thingy, which basically means that the caution laps are at a maximum of 3 laps for a sequence. So we can't have a 1-lap shootout. So that basically means this will engage one of our overtime restarts.
Bam, bam, bam. I had to do that. Overtime. Number 1 brought to you by shop.areairacing.com. Race fans, visit shop.area.iracing.com for the high quality merchandise at low prices. Shop from over 100 selections of t-shirts, hats, champion branded clothing, and more area accessories. Easy to shop, quicker to ship, better to wear. Shop.areairacing.com.
And just because Connor deserves Okresic, so they were like battling through the grass there. Let's go to get a top-down perspective on that if we can, which we can because I can press buttons. Oh, there was a massive Domino's there and nobody ordered a pizza.
That whole inside line checked up like Checkers in Central Park. That was ridiculous.
Checkers and Domino's in the same 2 lines. We got pizza wars going on here. Who is your terrible corporate pizza chain favorite? Domino's, Checkers? I don't have Papa John. Actually, I don't even have Papa John's. I don't have anything here, so I can't really put a hat in the ring there, but I do like Domino's for $6.99.
I personally don't use any of the big chains. I go to, we have a local place here called Big City Pizza. And if you're not familiar with Big City Pizza, you need to make a trip and find a Big City Pizza near you. I only know of like the few that are around this area, but they are delicious. We also have something called Apollo's Pizza here in this area that makes the best macaroni and cheese pizza I've ever had because they use cavatappi noodles. And if you don't know what a cavatappi noodle is, we can't be friends.
Cavatappi. I used to work in a kitchen. It's cavatappi.
I used to work in a kitchen too. I worked at a pasta restaurant.
Well, your kitchen was wrong. Your kitchen was wrong.
Bro, I worked at Fazoli's. All I knew was pasta.
So you're telling me the American restaurant that I ran that had way too big of a menu was wrong and your genuine Italian place says it right. That's what you're trying to tell me right now?
I don't know that I'd call Fazoli's genuine Italian. I mean, it's definitely Americanized.
Yeah, I mean, that's like saying Olive Garden is exquisite. But is it Chicago-style pizza or is it real pizza? What is real pizza? Dough, cheese, sauce. I mean, can you really screw that up? You can make it good and you can make it bad, but can you really screw it up? I mean,
do you understand what a Chicago deep dish is? Have you had a genuine?
Isn't that like having a gallon of sauce mixed into no?
A Chicago deep dish is literally how you just said it. It's crust, it's cheese, and then it's sauce on top.
So the backwards one. So what's the one that has basically a gallon of sauce in it and then you just can't eat it except with a fork and a knife?
It's probably the Chicago style that you're thinking of. We're gonna get fired before we even start this season at this rate.
Hey, you had upside a contract, and the contract didn't say these guys are idiots about pizza. So I think we're safe in that capacity. They'll have to get some more legal rights to us. But either way, let's get back to some real stuff here because we are going to 2 laps to go. But because it's 2 laps to go in the race, this is lap number 24. This will put us into overtime, so we have 1 out of the 3 that is engaged. Philip Groner is out of the race. And when it comes to our sequencing, we have fresh tires of Adam Cabot in the 5th position, along with Casey Lakatos there in the 50. That is the fresh tires. Nichols, Wineland, and Asogak, I said that wrong, and Philip Wright on the old tires. Guys who have been pretty good in today's race, Logan Clampett, he's back there in 10th. Travis Beckner, he's been up and around the field here today. But let's try to look at the team car affiliations up front, Brad. Who's going to be working with who, or do we kind of have a free-for-all?
Well, you have the 73 of Jake Nichols, and you have Justin Anasogok on the high line together. Those are the drafty cars. So are the drafty cars going to play some drafty runs?
Do we have to say
or are we
draft?
going to see
Do
something?
we have to say car twice, or can we just say those drafty cars? Is that like? Is that legal, or do we have to say the drafty car? Like, ATM machine,
Well,
I think I'm just going to say the drafty cars, and I'm going to go with that as long as their sponsor is cool with it.
okay. Well, we'll let the sponsor, if the sponsor has an issue, they know how to reach out to us. But also, please don't have an issue with it, because I do like saying drafty cars more than drafty cars. It makes that way. So,
But here we go. 5 potential miles left here in the area season 7 preseason shootout here at Daytona. $100 on the line. Will it be Nichols, Wineland, Anasogak, Wright, Cabot, or will it be someone in 10th? Will they get the magic pass if a wreck happens? Well, that's why we have to stay tuned for the next 3 to 4 minutes. Green flag in the air. That 21 on the inside, he was caught sleeping, but that might work to someone's benefit.
the 21 truly pulled the 21 car way backwards there. Had Jimmy Johnson behind and just completely forgot the fact that they were in a race with the 48 there. Jeff Wright, it's 73 of Jake Nichols. The drafty cars are going to just kind of hold it through. When does that teammate game end? Well, right now it's not going to end on the back stretches. They're bumper to bumper with each other, and let's just take it 3 wide and just send them down the deep void of the middle there.
Oh, 52!
Oh, 52 in the wall.
Keep it up
88 lost
there.
his friend.
He's going to try to keep it up there. He will, so that'll be his race, but hopefully he doesn't wreck anybody else in the process. Never mind, he does, but we make it to the white. Someone's upside down, but we stay green. We're going to battle to the end. We're wrecking again. It's going to be the last man standing here at Daytona.
28 lost their front bumper for a second. More wrecks in the background. It's 73, 17, 21, 48 up front. Those are your 4 cars, and the 73 gets loose off of 2. Here we go down the backstretch. 48 is going to look for a peak. 28 is going to follow him through. Who's going to come where? 17 gets left up high. We're through 3 here. Corey, here it goes. 17 in the wall. 48
Everyone's in
and
the wall.
28 in the
We're 3,
wall.
4 wide. Who is it going to be? Jake Nichols is on an island by himself. The island has closed. Here comes the 4. They're going high. They're going low. He turns them to the stripe. Drew is going to get it, the 38 around, but Drew Jua gets it, and everybody is dying. Everybody is airborne. Everybody wants a NASA hard card.
I think everybody is going to have to change their profile pictures to them wearing NASA suits at the end of this. Let's get some instant replays brought up here. And well, this was the runoff of 4. This is where things started. The 73 and the 4 got together. The 4 got on the rear bumper. I don't think he meant to spin him, but I mean, he came around one side, the other, and then the 38 really tried for the run.
And then here,
goodness gracious
and
me.
then there's just wrecks everywhere. This reminds me of the Harlem Shake videos of just everything just being absolutely, completely, and utterly chaotic. But that is our race, and Drew Jua here, if I verbiage that correctly, is going to get the $100 bills in his number 4 Lucky Duck Impala as it stands here on the evening. And he will pull off the William Byron and hit the wall so the car passes inspection and burn it down here.
Tell you what, Lucky Ducks. He was a lucky duck. He's a Benjamin Richer. He's got to be feeling pretty good about that, but I am curious to ask him if he meant to spin him out on the line there. But you know what? Again, you get the back bumper to the front bumper. You're running the line. There's not a lot that you can do at that point. So look at the burnout. Great run there from him. Great run through. And, well, I'll tell you what, that's one heck of a preseason start, if I have to say it. Some people made friends and some people made enemies, Corey.
Yep, that's all you can do is be on one end of the spectrum and just hope that it is the right one. But with that being said, we're going to head up to the what are we going to do? We're going to give you the final rundown of results. See, this is my first broadcast in like 5 months, so I'm cutting myself some slack here. Drew Jua here is going to get the win by 2/100ths of a second. It was a photo finish, even though we weren't expecting it here. But he's going to get that win. Patrick the Moose That's going to be the name for the year. The Moose in second, with Travis Beckner in third, Adam Cabot in fourth, Jake Nichols in fifth, Seth Noel in sixth, Justin Anasogak, I think vaguely that was what it was, Tyler Nichols in eighth, Peyton Howell in ninth, and then Eric Wineland is going to round out our top 10.
Yeah, bringing on from there, Michael Caron in P11, John Hall in P12, Douglas Newbigging in P13, Jeff Wright in P14, Jonathan Evans in 15th place, Connor Okrezik, there we go. We'll swap out last names that we can't pronounce. In 16th, Mason Kane in 17th, Casey Lakatos in P18, David Weishart in 19th, and Logan Clampett in 20th place.
And then just rounding out our last three, we got Ricky Springer. Connor Horn led a lot of laps, but not enough. 22nd, and Philip Groner shotgun on the field here in the 23rd position. So we will head right to victory lane, right here on the front straightaway grass. If I can find a camera angle that makes this look pretty, that would be absolutely fantastic here. But let's go grab Mr. Drew into the booth. Drew, you survived the carnage, which is not easy to do, especially at 230 miles an hour. The seas kind of parted, and then you had to drag race the Moose to the line there, and it worked out in your favor, man. Just kind of summarize how you saw that green-white checker.
Yeah, I had been everywhere this race. I felt like I was all the way in the back after the whole thing happened in the heat, and on that last yellow before it, I spun out on the restart. So I was just like, okay, well, time to try and conserve some tire. And a bunch of people pitted there, picked the right lane, and they wrecked after the line on the final lap, and the seas kind of parted. And I was trying to work with Kurhan there, and they all just washed up the track, and I actually had a shot, and I kind of went up high to kind of fake it, and he kind of blocked and got a little loose. I don't really know what happened. I haven't taken a look at it, but like you said, we survived the carnage. That was a lot of fun, both the heat and the main. So nice to finally get a first win. Was so close in the Cup Series and the Truck Series last year, but starting off the year, nice.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, well, you were also one of the very few to keep all four on the ground here for the whole portion of the race, so that's a big thing. But obviously, preseason fun. Kind of hard to take a lot out of tonight because obviously we're not going to be going 230 in the regular season. But what does it do for confidence? You know, even it's a preseason, you got some money in your pocket, so of course that doesn't hurt. But what does it do to kind of set the tone for what you expect to do here in 2025?
Oh yeah, I mean, this was just a sort of fun race with all the people that made the race, and putting on a show for people watching back home. So it's definitely a little bit of confidence going into the year. Not sure what is to come, but looking forward to whatever series I end up running. And you know, it's a good way to start. Like I said, good way to start the season.
All right, man. Well, we'll let you go celebrate and spend your $100 accordingly here. And, you know, if whether you do trucks or Xfinity, we'll see you next month.
Yes, sir. I just want to give a quick shout out to Lucky Ducks for having me for the shootout, and shout out for Meals for Wheels. And like I said, we'll see you soon.
Absolutely, my friend. Congrats.
Thank you.
And now we will give P2. I mean, we're just going to call him the Moose unless he tells us otherwise. We got Brad with the Moose.
It's the Moose in the booth. Listen, Patrick, I got to ask. First, before I even ask you anything about the race, explain to me all the photos, all the faces on your car.
Oh, that's just all my Nexus teammates. We had a bunch of meme cars, so I decided to throw it on here.
I love it. Okay, now back to serious events. Started 14th, finished second. Talk me through that final lap and how you ended up in second place.
I just stuck to the bottom going in three. I saw all of them wash up, and I just snuck through on the bottom, and then I almost had it with Drew at the line, but it was just too close.
Man, it was fun to watch you run through there. It was fun to kind of see how things went between the heat and the race. what does this do going on a second place? Kind of where does this set your expectations for the season? What are you thinking of doing here moving forward? Kind of just talk to me about your projections for this year.
It was just a fun race to get started. I mean, we're going to have fun this season. I hope so. I'm running Cup, hopefully. So moving from trucks. So we'll see how it goes.
Awesome, man. It's going to be awesome to watch through. Patrick, just so you know, we are calling you the entire season. Hope you don't mind.
I am fine with that.
Fantastic. Well, man, we're going to let you go enjoy the second place and hang out. Congrats again. And look forward to seeing what you do this season.
Thank you. Thank you guys for broadcasting.
Thank you.
All right, and now I've got third place, Mr. Travis Beckner here. Travis, from our perspective, I feel like you probably hit the right side on the fence a few times here. I know it's hard to keep that car balanced at 230 miles an hour, but you, I think, started that green-white checker in the back end of the top 10, and here you are on the podium, man. What was that last 2 or so minutes like from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, this is my first time ever racing this car, like, ever. So I had no idea what I was doing going into this race. Honestly, I had quite a bit of fun there. Coming out of the tri-oval when the white flag came out, get a little tap in the rear end, and it shot the car left. Fortunately, took out one of my teammates and a few other people with that. But for the most part, it was a handful, to say the least. So, yeah.
Yeah, obviously, as I kind of said to Drew in our chat with him, not a lot you can tangibly take out of this outside of some confidence and some fun, but obviously the first time that we'll be covering you guys in a serious capacity. So what can we expect from Travis here in the 2025 area campaign? What are we going to be seeing you in, and what are your goals?
Well, hopefully I can get my third Area 500 win this year. Got wrecked late on last year, wasn't able to get it last year. Seth Noel got his third, but I'll be in contention for the championships between all three series as well. Well, actually four, because ERA. For those of y'all that are watching, if you're on iRacing, you got dirt late models and all types of dirt tracks, sign up for VDRA. It's going to be a fun season. Just for the most part, hopefully we're going to be competing for the championship. So.
All right, well, we'll hold you to that. Pretty hefty expectations there, and I'll be watching a lot of those races myself personally, so we'll see what you can do, man, and congrats on a solid run here in this crazy COT car tonight.
Yep, before I go, I'd like to thank my sponsors, Hendry County Motorsports Parks, Central Mobile Home Sheds and Trailers. Let's see, that's two right now. My team, all the teams I'm running for this year, Central United Motorsports, Low Dollar Racing, and Slaughter Sim. I don't know what the team name is. Slaughter Sim Sports, something like that. Sorry, Brad. But it's going to be a fun season. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, man, and we're looking forward to watching it, man. We'll catch you soon.
Thank you.
All right, so that'll wrap things up here for area. Again, a preseason race in a car that we're never really going to see again, at least in this capacity, Brad, but always a fun way to start things off with a new series and seeing some good racing.
You know, I have a feeling that not seeing this car again for some of these drivers is going to be more than okay. It is going to be fun to get the season going and running. I do want to give a shout out to everyone who's watched on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook. Make sure you go to all the respective platforms, like, comment, subscribe, do all the fun things on those. And, you know, Corey, as you've mentioned, we got plenty of season racing coming up, and, you know, you can always check out the full schedule for the area team on our website or their website, or both. Why not?
Yeah, there you go. Get everyone some ad revenue here. Speaking of ad revenue, make sure you like and share and subscribe and comment and all that fun stuff to our YouTube channel. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure you support the league on that channel. A very quick shout out to their sponsors. Of course, the Area iRacing Twitch. If you really like them, you can do the subscription model, get all the fancy emotes there, subscribe to them in that capacity. Our starting grid sponsor was Central Mobile Homes. We got Hendry County Motorsports Park, as you just saw Travis speak about, and Elite Entertainment, rickshotsauce.com, and then shop areairacing.com. Get yourself some cool goodies here with some league logos and support them any way you can. You can see PTR TV live on Thursday if you're watching this live. If you like sports car racing, you can check out Brad with the Red Sox Racing League on Thursday and their season finale. And then we will have some more content. I think Sim 500 will be back next week, and socials will give you all of that cool content. It's going to be Corey and Brad signing out of the booth. Have a great night, and we'll catch you next time.
See ya.